following month. So it's very important for us to attend the recognition rally so that we are able to see where we are and where we are going. And because we are normally told team, in the team aspect, everyone achieves more. So I've been told to talk about taking steps, and I hope eventually, just give me a minute, please. Okay, I'm taking you through taking steps, and I hope, sorry, my machine is a bit slow, but it's okay. And I hope that we can be able to, each one of us, actualize the aspect of helping people to step up the same way we were helped. So in the aspect of taking steps, sorry. Okay, let me begin by saying when we all come as guests, and eventually we do that.
Hi, Gladys.
Sorry, I'm trying to share my screen. I don't know what is happening. If it doesn't work, I'll just speak. Can you see my screen now? Judy, can you see my screen? Okay.
Yes, it's there now.
All right, thank you. So we have to work towards moving from now distributor. So my prayer is, we've seen so many distributors who we sponsored last month, but even when I look at maybe the participants today, probably even our new distributors are not here yet. And that is something that we really need to look at as people who sponsor, because we must do conversion, where when you have a new distributor, they have to understand even the meetings they need to join in so that they can move to the next level. Because all the distributors we've been read to, the new distributors, well, there were quite many. That conversion to manager should be almost 50%. So we have to work on that. And so the next level, of course, is once somebody becomes a distributor, the first thing is to show them how to become a qualified distributor. And probably even in the first month of joining. So when they join, they need to learn how to do their 100 points, because it's very critical for somebody to always remain doing their 100 points. So even when you build your team, you can be able to benefit from the 100 points. So it's the number one requirement it's not a step per se, but it is a very important thing. And I pray that all the people we sponsored last month, at least most of them, especially those who joined because of business, they are able now they're able to do their first 100 points. And that's something we need to talk to them immediately. You cannot earn a check in our business if you're not doing your 100 points. So it should be something that should flow without stress. You should not wait for the last minute. It just should flow. So to do 100, you just teach somebody to use the products. Every month, someone can choose 1 or 2 products to use in the house and keep alternating them. Then the other thing is to learn to share the products. So when they start sharing the products, they're able to make profits, and that excites them. There's nothing as exciting as making a step. So when they do that, they are called qualified distributors. When they become qualified distributors, they get that PIN. Now, the next thing is very quickly to try to move somebody to manager. The earlier you move somebody to manager, the better, because when they get their first check, it is very important. Remember, moving to manager means, number one, either they can do their single order of 250 points as a single order, or accumulated over time, small orders until the end of the month. And it's important to tell them when the end of the month will be. So we need to know the month-end date, and so that they can work backwards to be able to know that they need to do that early enough. Or they can work on the 500 points with a team, where you build a team, and between you and the team, you're able to accumulate 500 points. And remember, that person must do their 100 on the minimum. And that is why we said it's very important for people to understand how to do their 100. So those are the two ways of becoming a manager. And once somebody becomes a manager, the next goal is before they go to senior manager, they need to understand that they should remain qualified at status. And remaining qualified at status means they need to work it in such a way that they are able to always do the 500 with a team, so that they remain qualified managers. That ensures every month they have a check. And it's important. I can assure you, for me, since I joined Neolife, from the moment I started earning a check, I have never missed a check. And if people don't understand this, and they have gaps in earning checks, they start getting discouraged. But as long as they are doing their qualified status, they are making profits, they have a team, and they have a reason to stick in the business. Then of course you get your manager pin, and you start now working towards senior manager. And in the new system right now, you can also start the fast track to director by just doing your manager step. When you do your 250 personal, it's important for them to understand that now they have started their journey even to the fast track to director. So that is the manager pin. You get a small check, you get some customers, it gets very exciting. Now, the next level is senior manager. For you to become a senior manager for the first time, you either do 500 points, single order, or accumulated. If somebody does a single order in your team, it is your responsibility to make sure that those points are going somewhere. Maybe they targeted their aunties, their uncles, and their own personal use for them to do that single order, because we do not want people getting stuck with stocks. That is the worst kind of business you can do. It is not duplicatable, and it hurts people. So for the single order 500, you must make sure that those products are going somewhere, and you must keep them on their toes to make sure that happens. Or they can accumulate the 500 points sales within the month up to when we do the month end. So that is one way of becoming a senior, for the senior manager, it only has to be selling, the moving of the products. That's called fast track. Or you actually do the normal way of becoming a senior manager, which is not an incentive. And that is becoming a senior manager by doing 1,000 points with your team. So, and it's not written here, but you make sure that they do 1,000 points with their team. And that makes sure that they have started earning at 10%, and it's a very exciting place to be. So if it's the normal way of doing director, it actually becomes your first step towards director. But if somebody is new in the business and they've joined the fast track to director, then they can start that with the 250. So it is important for them to learn how to do that. And then the other thing is, once you become a senior manager, whether you did it by single order or 1,000 with team, it's important to remain qualified. A qualified senior manager does not less than 1,000 with the team. There must be the mandatory 100 personal PV you do as a person. The rest can come from the team. Or you can do much more in terms of personal PV, and the rest comes from the team. And also it's important to remember, there are free products that they are given when you do those step-ups. Right now, we've been receiving the botanical. So if anyone becomes a manager, senior manager, they get their botanical and their senior manager pin. I want to stop there and say that now to move to director, you need to do your 4,000. But the 4,000 will come easy if you are on the fast track. It means you don't have to accumulate any points. But if you are not in the fast track, there's that accumulation of 10,000 points within 6 months, but the last month you must finish with 4,000. This is an explanation that you need to go over and over with your upline so that you understand it very well. So I hope and pray that you can go back, reread these things and understand them at the fingertips. I want to leave it at that because I know we have a lot to cover. Thank you very much, Judy. Asante sana.
Much, Grandes, for taking us through stepping up. Actually, stepping up, make sure that you get so excited in the business, and it is quite exciting. So we move on. Sorry, my screen going back. Sorry. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just recognize the directors in this team. They are really the support system that we have. That anytime you become a director, you also get your own, you got your own team to take care of. And that is a point that the company really recognizes the directors, because I know it is this director unit that they are able to group people to know how they are supposed to take care of them and how to nurture them. So I really want to appreciate all the directors in this team, because without them, I will not be able to achieve what I've achieved. I cannot be able to achieve this training by myself. I cannot be able to do this training by myself. But when we work together with the directors, we are able to give so much. And so I want to recognize David and Rachel Mutua, Jane Okotsi, Rifat Simba, Jane and June Moseti, Yonji Bosire, Grace and Philip Bosire, Nancy Murioki, David Rubane, Rael Namae, David Mutiria, Coleman Nyambu, Charles Paul, Margaret Kitema, Ruth Rehema, Emma Minda, Dixon and Joyce Shangara, Vincent Nyamanja, Mase Mukora, Douglas Musao, Damaris Wangoi, Berenice Karanja, James Muguna. He is all the way in Jordan. He's doing his business from there. He costs me quite often. So it doesn't matter where you are, you can still be able to achieve in this business. We have Dorothy Wandwa, Lea Murioki, Angeline Mumo, Gideon Mumo, Robert and Betty Kamau. And then I'm going to recognize my Emerald directors in this team, Mary and Steve Mengo, Philip and Ann Maviti, Ann and Gao Mangati, Grandes Munene, Patrick and Grandes Masharia, Anap and Savia Kasi, and Carissa Ndama. And those are the people that really put everything together for us to be able to train, for us to be able to do an event. You see, from the time that COVID came, we've been sitting with the directors to be able to see how best you can be able to do this business. And all of us now, we've been able to learn how we can sit on Zoom and be able to talk to people, do one-on-ones, do so many things. And as a director support system, I congratulate you so much for the role that you bring this team, because by myself, I wouldn't have made it. I give you a clap for this beautiful evening. And so now we want to go to sponsoring. We want to go to sponsoring. And sponsoring is the right brand of this business, like I said. And sponsoring is what makes sure that you realize the beautiful things that are in this business. I was told if I share this business with other people, I teach them how to buy cars. I teach them how to buy houses. I teach them how to do this and this. I teach them how to travel. I'm also going to have the same things by myself. And so I've been very keen on sponsoring, and we are so keen on sponsoring because we know it's the right brand of this business. I'm very sure that where you are right now, you cannot be seated if brand is not flowing within your vein. So as much as so the brand is so is to your body, so is sponsoring to this business. The more you sponsor, the easier it becomes. We never stop sponsoring in this business. There's no family planning in this business. We sponsor all the time. People ask me, Judy, do you sponsor? I tell them that I still sponsor because I also want new people to nurture. I also want people, my friends, to realize their why. And so in this business, sponsoring is so crucial. You cannot run away from sponsoring. And let me tell you, it makes sure that you are so excited in this business, because you get people from a point of not knowing, you get them to a point of knowing so much and achieving so much. So I came in this business in year 2001. I've been able to sponsor so many people. All those directors that you see in my team, some of them have achieved so much, and I'm sure it is because of sponsoring them, building great relationships, that we've been able to work together and we've been able to achieve so much. So to each and every one of us, let's keep on sponsoring. Let's never stop. Right now, what has happened is that we are not really mingling with the people so much out there for events or anything. And many times now we are only interacting on social media. And you'll find now we are now sponsoring people from Facebook, Instagram. We are communicating with the people with WhatsApp, and we've been able to do this business. And I'm sure, and I'm very convinced that we are going to go places, because when technology changes, we also have to change. Now we never used to know how to use Facebook. We used to know how to use Instagram and all these social platforms. But today we can be able to use them and be able to get more people to share with the business opportunity in this business. So I'm just going to recognize those who have been sponsoring for the month of April. We sponsor all the time, we never stop sponsoring. Even at the end of this month, we are going to do another one. Those who have done this and that. So I'm going to recognize those who sponsored one person. And I'm going to recognize David Mutua and Rachel Mudini. I'm going to recognize Rael Namae, Safia Asi, Emma Nyaga and Daniel, George Bosire, Dixon and Joy Shangala, Atieno and Jane and Ellie, Joseph Grace Mwaringa, Francis Oroko and Mwanaindi, Mother Maruki and Michael, Boniface Mutune and Priscilla, Rose Wamalo and Jonah, Magdalene Kafuku and John, Muli Eunice, Jonathan and Sabera Mbuya. We are still continuing. Mukira David and Beth, Florence Kingori and Daniel, Johnny Wahome and Grandes Wanjera, Nancy Rispa Atieno, Charity Divo and Joseph Kioko, Brian Otieno and Geoffrey, Charles Abebe and Phoebe, Peter Jogona and Jacinta, Catherine Nyaga and Markfrix Morevi, Maria Mbaki and Joseph, Daniel Mwarimu and Mpa Gao, Geoffrey Muhindi and Grace, Agnes Atamba, Nicholas Muirore and Catherine. Yeah, now those are the people that sponsored one person. You see, one is better than zero. So I sincerely want to congratulate each and every one of you who sponsored one person. I know you sponsored one person. I know this month you are going to sponsor 2, and you are going to sponsor 3. And so I also want to recognize those who sponsored 2 people, Ngao Mangati and Anne Ngao, Mary Mwikari and Stephen Mengo, Gladys Jura Monene, Cicere Wanja Nyaga, June Emunto and Jane Perugo, Carissa Rachel Dama and Rafle, Rapu John Gombo, Philip Mafiti and Ann Nduku, Alice Iska and Vanessa, Onesimus Shiro and Christine, Sophia and Chavez. Yeah, those who sponsored 3 people, we have Jane Wero and Frances Wagura, and Grace Philip Nyauncho, and actually, wow, congratulations. And Grace actually sponsored 4 people. She sponsored, she sponsored 4 people. She sponsored 3 people in Kenya, and sponsored 1 person in the US. So last month she did 4 in 30, that is 4 people. And Grace, we sincerely congratulate you. I looked for you, I couldn't find you. I didn't want you to talk to us. Grace, you can say hi to us, because I know the next one is yes, you did agree, that is her, and that is Grace and Philip Bosire. Grace, are you on board? You can say hi to us. Hi, Grace Philip. You can say hi to us. Sorry, I think she cannot be able to get me. Hi, Grace. Sorry, I think she can't get me. We sincerely congratulate Grace. She did a great job. And in the process, she was able to get a 4-star. A 4-star is when you continuously sponsor 3 people on a monthly basis and making sure that they are buying products for their own use and for their customers, that they are able to make sure that they have done their 100 points. So I do sincerely want to congratulate each and every one of you for the job well done. By myself, I can't do it. By yourself, you cannot do it. But when we are together, all of us, we can do so much because we really motivate one another. Otherwise, congratulations to Grace for the job well done. Okay. Now we are going to go to the other core thing of our business. And I want to, this is about sharing the products. Sharing the products and sharing the products with your customers. And this is what we call personal production. That means you are using the products and you are not only using, you are also sharing them with your customers. And this one is so major, and this is what gives you a lot of money. This is what makes sure that your bonus check is so huge, because whatever you have done, you don't share with anybody. You are paying all of it 100% without sharing with anybody. For me, I love doing personal points because I know they give me the highest percentage of what I have done just by using the products. I need soap every day. I need oil every day. I need this and this every day. And whatever our company has, I always make sure I buy from my business. So I want to recognize those who have done from 250 points and above. It is not that if you have done less than 250, it is not important. It's just that the figures are so many and we cannot be able to put them on the screen. Otherwise, we would read them for so many hours because this team is huge. And so we have just put at 250 so that we can be able to recognize those who did 250 and were able to qualify for a bonus check by themselves without even involving the team. But if time would have allowed, even whoever did maybe 10 points, 15 points would recognize you. But because of the figures are so huge, the people that we may have to read, we decided that let's do it from 250 to make sure that everybody that we have read has qualified to earn a bonus check at the end of the month. And I'm sure by Friday, everybody had received their bonus check. I'm sure you still have your money. It's not yet finished. Those who are being paid the salaries, they had their money a long time ago. And I'm sure now you have your money, and I'm sure you are enjoying when theirs is finished. And one thing that I'm telling you, personal points is good because you are able to build a customer base. A customer is good because you are going to earn a lot of profits. And then at the end of the month, the company pays you the bonus check. And let me assure you, you'll be smiling all the way to the bank. So let me read these names very, 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 very fast. Patrick Ketaka did 250 points. And let me just change something so that I can be able to see those figures nicely. Yeah. This is Nancy Mwaneki and Grore at 251. Barasa Okumi and Milton Dorogi, 251. Caroline Mukina Musembi, Emi and Arpat Shushi, Muli Eunice, Millicent Nyaga, Joyce Chalo, Cecilia Mwadi and Francis, Pauline Mwende Mwindi, David Kipara Mutiria, Joyce Yeri and Jafet, Charlene Muruki Sila, Humphrey and Josephine Mwashala. We continue from 258. That is Cynthia and Isaac, and Julius Kinyo and Jane, Eunice and Bernard Jero, Norega and Damba, Beatrice and Stanley Mbwire, Grace Ngao, Magdalene and John Kitema, Muzungu and Sasi and Cyrus, Eric Charo and Eugenia, Kahindi Kaniki and Riziki, Morris and Edwin Simiu, Milton Mwavita Mwagwapi, Janice Kimaiga Andagire Ondieki, Grace Wafua and Kiseu. We continue from 272. That is Beatrice and Stella, Flora Mudeu and Anthony Kitafi, Perez and John Inyaga, Angela and Thomas Kamanthi, Kiprono Bet, Maria Goretti Nyareki, Regina and Paul, Dangras and Beatrice Wambua, John Murioki Mboro, Beatrice Shikuku and Samora, Joseph and Angela Sigei, Christopher Karitu, Dorcas Jerop and Michael Kandie, Rose Wamarwa and Jonah Wanjala, Morris Kiteme, Boniface Amutune and Priscilla, Delphine Kinyamasi and Jafet, Gideon and Marietta Mumo, Beatrice Wairimu Karaoke, Mother Muluki and Michael, Philip Mafiti and Anna, Carissa Rachel and Rovelina Gombo, Josephat Tuta and Esther, David and Juliet and Anje, James Ndegwa Kinywa, Eunice Kofia and Alfred, Justina Mobingesu, Karima and Ali Ibrahim, Berhan Nashema, June Kemuto and Jenny Mosetti, Alice and Noah Waswang Nganga, Jane Weru and Francis. That's from 500, we have Jane Weru and Francis Oroko and Mwanaindi, Charles and Irene Mwashabwi, Joseph and Grace Mwaringa, Atieno Jane and Eric Odhiambo, Matthew Musungu and Beatrice, Joseph Mwakuza and Pascal, Julieta Mwikari Mbidi, Florence Mwangi, David and Magdalene Dubane, Dixon and Joyce Shangara, 533, Angeline Mumo and Apanas Mutua, Alice Bogo and Johnson, John Musioka and Margaret Wamalwa, Susan Wairimo Kemani, Wilson Jogona Kishua, Nasa Hamed Bakshi, George Bosire Misati, Masharia Patrick and Gladys, Paul Muli and Emily, John Karaoke and Jessica, Emma Nyaga and Daniel, David Wambua Mudeki, Henry Kissinger and Wanjala, Charles and Judith Jero 710, Coleman and Samba and Frida, Glory Mwenda, Cecilia Wanja Nyaga 747, Munyuoki and Alice Wanja Mutua, Robert Jiju and Maina, that is 803, Mary Ogwobo and Charles Kemunto, Grandes Jura Monene 826, Joseph Mutei and Judy Gina 830, Savia Hasi 941, Joseph Apuga Getanda 947, Friend Nyangate and Fene Awino 957, Rachel Wadi Mwanyagwa 966, Eric and Diana Ochieng 980, Joseph Mwangi and Betty Murango 1001. So now we have gone to 1,000 plans. Vivian Wamoyo Wanjiro 1020, Mary Mwikari and Stephen Kilonzo 1029, Rifat Nyamoya and Evelyn Simba 1104, Rairo Namae 1330, Gao Mangati and Annie Gao 1641, Francis Chalopo 1837, John Mwangi Mogo 1989, David Mutua and Rachel Rumu Mudhini 4010. And so I'm going to ask our top, sorry, I think there's somebody else, Mary and Joel Kimani Bogongo 4,440. And because Bella Bogongo is not here, I am going to request David Mutua to talk to us this evening on how he was able to do his 4,000 points. David Mutua, you can unmute yourself. Hi, David. Yes, welcome, David.
I hope unanipata nzuri.
Sasa nakupata. Sorry, it's
Okay,
not
kwa
going to
majina
use
naitwa
this
David
video
Mpo.
because of the internet, the net connection, so that you can be able to get him clearly. Welcome, David.
Thank you, Judy. Kwa majina naitwa David Mpo. Nashukuru Mungu ni kwa ajili ya kunipa hii nafasi ya kuongea na team na kwa ajili ya kunipa hii nafasi kufanya kazi last month na kuweza kufanya follow-up yangu ni kushukuru Mungu. Ingine ni kushukuru Mungu kwa ajili ya kunipatia kwa staff. So on my side, thank you. So I don't know kama kuna kitu kingine nilikuwa nataka ni
David, unaweza pata spot mzuri, unaweza kaa ndio tuweze kukupata. David, unanisikia? Sorry, we have lost David. I think he's having serious issues with the internet, but we can continue as we wait for him to log on. And David has been very keen. He's a director in the business, and I can see us logged in once again. I think that was, yes, David, you can,
Hello?
I can hear you now.
Oh. Kitu kidogo tu kuna shida tu inakuja kupotea.
Wow.
Hello?
Yes, I can get you. You can try again now.
Oh, sasa hivi unanipata?
Yeah, nakusikia.
Oh, nilikuwa nashukuru ni kwa ajili ya kunipa nafasi kuongea na timu siku ya leo. Yangu sana ni kushukuru Mungu ni kwa ajili ya kunipa nafasi na kufanya hiyo follow hivi.
Tafuta mahali pazuri bwana, hatukusikii hata kidogo.
David, unaweza tafuta spot mzuri. I think he's getting issues with this network, but we would have really loved to hear from him. Yes, one person who is
Pande juu ya mahali.
yes, a person that is very keen on his personal production. He's a very humble gentleman, and he's soft spoken, and we are so proud of what he can be able to do. I'm so proud of him, and I'm sure maybe we shall get some other, because of time, we are going to get some other time so that you can be able to get him to talk to us, maybe one of the Tuesday evenings, because right now our time is running up and we have got our guest who has to come and talk. But just before our guest comes on board, I just want to, yeah, maybe say something as we move on. Yeah, that is recognize our Sapphire directors who are on this team. They didn't give me a lot of support as we move up in the business. You see, when you have got to plan, you need people to plan with. You cannot plan alone. So I want to recognize Devin and Brett Woody, Patrick and Naomi Mugambi, Juliana Mbuvi, Enere Wanjara, Eric and Diana Ocheng, for being such a great support to this team as we continue to do our business on daily basis. And so I'm so proud of you. If we had enough time, we actually give you all of us to have a chance to say hi. But because it's a Zoom call, we cannot be able to have the ample time like when we used to do the physical meetings. Otherwise, the one team, I'm so proud of you for the great support that you give to this team. And of course, for the directors, remember your incentives. Your incentives are still waiting for you. When you become a new director, you get 5,000 Kenya shillings. This is not for the company. This is from us, your PTs. And when you qualify in our team, other than what the company gives you, we also give you something on top so that you can be able to achieve some of those goals that you have. When you develop a director, you also get 5,000 Kenya shillings. When you become a new supplier director, you get 10,000. When you become a 1 rupee, you get 20,000. When you become a 2 rupee, you get 30,000 Kenya shillings from us. When you become a 3 rupee director, you get 50,000. And you become a 4 rupee, that is when you become a PT. We share our check with you. We give you 100,000 Kenya shillings on top of the first check that you have received from the company at the end of the month. So just go on, work on the incentives, and the money is waiting for you. The other thing is, please also remember, East Africa Eagles is on Instagram as Eagle Group East Africa. So in case you are recognizing somebody, you just send a photo to me. I'll be able to put a tier, and you can be able to see who is joining our team, who is stepping up, who is doing what, and then we can be able to celebrate with you. Because of the time is fast spent, this is a great moment that has come, that now we have to listen. We have to listen to our guest speaker this evening, and is one of my upline sponsors. I do really appreciate my uplines. I appreciate them so much because, and they not taken up this business opportunity, I don't know where some of us would be. I don't know whether we'll be in this business. And by extension, you will not be in this business. And by extension, other people that are not in this recognition today, who are in other teams, will not be in business. But because they said yes, let me tell you, that's why we are in business today. Some of us, the houses that we live in, some of us, the cars that we drive, some of us, the great things that we are doing in our lives. It's because our sponsors joined this business. And by extension, they were able to hand it over to other people. And that's how we were able to get this business. So I'm going to recognize one of my uplines, Mike van der Venture. He happens to be the sponsor of my sponsor. And let me assure you that as East Africa Eagles, we are well covered. If there's a team that is really funded by God, it is our team, because we have got a whole lot of builders that have their will in their hearts to support us so that we can make it. And when we make it, we are going to have great things in life, great things to do in life. And let me assure you, we are totally favored by God because we have great uplines. He's not here, he lives in South Africa. And that's where my sponsors are. I don't have a sponsor here in Kenya. Right now, my sponsors are all in South Africa. But anytime I call any one of them, nobody has ever let me down. And today we are going to hear one of my sponsors, who is Mike van der Venture. I've met him a couple of times, and I'm sure I never regret. Anytime I get him, I get a want to take home. Please get a pen and a paper as we invite one of our sponsors in our team, that is Mike van der Venture, who is our guest speaker tonight. Mike, over to you.
Thank you, Judy. Can you hear me and see me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, well, it's such a pleasure to be with you. You know, I've been to Nairobi and Kenya, and of course, Uganda and Tanzania as well. Over a 26-year period, 60, 70 times. So whenever I come to Nairobi, mostly I just come to Nairobi when I'm in Kenya, it's to me like second home. I was privileged to be there in January and I really enjoyed it, although it was just for a very short time. But even as I sit in Cape Town this evening, it is such a pleasure to connect with you. And I'm so excited to see what is happening, all the new distributors, the people sponsoring, people stepping up. And I'm grateful and very humble to know that through Judy, you are all part of my family. Many of you I may never know personally, but you remain very special to me. And I want to congratulate all of you, firstly, for being on this call, for being part of the team, for what you're doing. I appreciate that, but what makes me excited more than that is when I see you moving up and getting more and more out of this opportunity. I want to, first of all, say that you should congratulate me this past week. I've just had my birthday.
Good night. Ask teacher for any questions. Ask teacher.
I had my birthday. I was 38 last week. Well, not in the real years. It was my 38th birthday in Neolife. So that should teach you something. I've been in Neolife a long time, 38 years. I've seen many other companies come and go. Most of them come and then go after making big promises, after pulling people away even from Neolife and making people lose, because very few companies come near us. In fact, no company comes near us. There are some other good companies, but there are a lot of companies that you should really not even think about. But for me, having been with Neolife for 38 years now, I know that Neolife has never disappointed me, never. And I trust my future and that of my family and that of my team. I trust it to Neolife, because in Neolife, we've got a trustworthy company that goes out of its way to support us so that we can build a business, a low-cost business. You know, if you had to start any normal business, you'd have to invest a lot of money. You'd have to find a place of business. You'd have to employ people. You'd have to keep a lot of stock. And all of that costs a lot of money. So it's not easy to start a normal business. And you know, the statistics, at least in South Africa, is that 5 out of every 7 new businesses, I'm talking outside of what we do, I'm talking normal business, 5 out of every 7 new businesses fail within their first year. So people invest a lot of money, and their chance is so good of not making it past their first year. In Neolife, they carry the risk. They have the stock, they have the staff, they have the properties, they have the warehouses. We don't carry that risk. All we have to do is the simple daily success habits using the products. And you know, that is so important. In actual years, I'm 73. Later on this year, obviously in 74. And I can tell you through the products, the level of health, the level of energy I have is something that I truly value. You know, most people at 73 are old. I'm 73, but I'm definitely not old. Through the opportunity as well, we're doing very well. But looking at the future, I know it is going to be better. It's better every month. And the exciting thing is, even through the COVID challenge, which we still have, our business has been not just growing, it's been exploding. Why? Because we have the right kind of products that people don't only need, but products that really make a difference. And so many more people are today in a position where they have to have a second income. Or for some, they have to have an income, let alone a second income. And we are there to offer them the best no-risk opportunity of getting into business and growing a business that can in time make you totally financially free. I remember when we joined in 1983, I never expected much from this business. I thought, well, if my wife sold us some Super 10 and LDC and so on, those were the main products those days, and made us maybe 5,000 or 10,000 shillings a month, that would have made me extremely happy. In the beginning, I never saw the big picture. I was fortunate to eventually be exposed to a big convention, to start seeing the bigger picture, and to start believing that there is much more than I thought. And today, I so often thank God that the person who sponsored me or us remembered us You see, he lived 200 kilometers from where we lived. He joined the business, came back to the town where we lived because he used to live there before. And he was trying to sponsor people there that he knew. Now, we'd never been very close. We were at university together, but 13 years later, I never expected him to even remember me, but he did. And I thank God. If he hadn't invited me, none of you would have been around. And as Judy said, thousands of other people wouldn't have been around. So I just thank God for the opportunity, for what it's done for us, for what it's still doing, and for what I believe it could still do. But you know, today my biggest reward is to see people like you come into this business and grow and succeed. It is like a father with his children. You know, if you have children or grandchildren, you will know you want the best for them. What you want for them is actually better than what you had yourself. And that is how I feel about you. So I really want to encourage you to hold on to what you have in this business. It's not always going to be easy. You'll have challenges. You may have challenges in your personal life. You may have financial challenges. You may have people who disappoint you. But that is part of life. In life, we have ups and downs. The important thing is when you're down, not to stay down. You know, I'm always encouraged when I think of Du and Fikile Mokoena, a couple from KwaZulu-Natal. They were 5 diamonds in the business. And then in the late 80s, when there was a lot of political unrest and people being killed, it was really a tough situation. Their business dropped back right down to 1 ruby. Now, for most people, if you drop that far in a business, you'll say, oh, well, this is the end. Let's give up. No, they just rebuilt. For many, many years now, they've been back to 5 diamond. And I really admire them and salute them for being down that much, but getting up. And that should be a lesson to each of us. If we want to move ahead, we've got to get up and get going, even if we get knocked down. And you know you will have the support of your uplines, you'll have the support of the company. But even with all that support, always remember, if it's to be, it is up to me. You're in business for yourself, you're not by yourself. But we can only, as uplines and as the company, do so much to support you. We cannot make you do what you have to do. We cannot push you. We don't want to push you. That's not how it should be. So, and I'm sure you do, but accept responsibility for yourself. My own sponsor and his sponsor never did much for me. They actually quit the business. So you don't have to have a sponsor to be successful in the business. In fact, I became successful long after my sponsor quit the business. The fact is that I believe God put each of us into this opportunity for a reason. We're not here just by chance. We're here for a reason. And the reason is to grow personally, to grow financially, to become the best we can be. Because, you know, if we're failures in life, we can't help other people really. We can't make a big difference. But through becoming successful, we can help so many more people. And I believe that is God's purpose for us in life. To become the success that He meant for us to be, not just for our own sake, but for what that would mean to many, many other people. You see, we are here to make this world a better place. And we can do that helping people with our products, their health, their finances, and through the business opportunity with overcoming the financial restraints that most people have. So really be serious about what we have. But don't look at it purely in a selfish way for what it can do for you. I want to leave you with this thought, something that I always repeat when I talk to people, what the famous Zig Ziglar said. He said, you can have everything in life you want. You can have everything in life you want, provided you help enough other people get what they want. And you know, that is what our marketing plan is about. You saw people became managers. If you're a manager and you help 3 other people become managers, you move up to senior manager. If you're senior manager and you help 3 other people move up to senior manager, you become a director. So our whole marketing plan is based on helping people achieve what they want. And the more they want and the more they achieve, the better for you. But it's an attitude of reaching out to people for what we can help them have, for what we can do for them, not what they are supposed to do for us. It's a subtle thing, but think about that, because people will not be attracted to you if they think that you are using them or that they are just there to help you achieve your goals. They must know you are there to help them achieve their goals. And you notice the last thought, I was so impressed when I saw the figures of the personal production. You know that David, with his 4,440 points, have probably earned more than many qualified directors with a team would earn. Because remember, on your personal production, you, like David, actually earned 45% of the BV on that. The 20% profit margin plus the 25% sales volume bonus. I think Judy said it, all that money comes to him. He wasn't sharing that with anybody. So don't, in your personal production, just aim for 100 points. The 100 points is not a goal. It's just the starting point. Now, of course, your personal production isn't everything. The sponsoring, and you know that the sponsoring is the main thing. But if you struggle to do 100 points every month, and that's what you duplicate in your team isn't going to do much. But if David could duplicate his personal production 10, 20, 30, 40 times, that team will do amazing things. So that is a very important part of your business. Do your best personally and duplicate that in PV, in sponsoring, in everything you do. And lastly, remember, value people. It is people who will make your business. It is people who will make you a fortune. Value people. People are number one, as the company says. You are the servant of your team, or you should be, not the other way around. And I'm excited to know that in this part of the team, seeing so much happening, knowing that more will and can happen. And I want to encourage you to really become the best you, so that through the New Life opportunity, we can help other people become their best. Judy, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for being able to share with you. I really love and appreciate all of you, and God bless. Thank you.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much, Mike, for being there for us, and knowing that there's always somebody that is there for us, that we are never alone. We are so proud. We thank God so much for you and the rest of our sponsors for seeing this business opportunity, because it has really made a positive difference life to each and every one of us. And of course, our lives will never be the same again. For us is to go out there and touch other people's lives and make a positive difference. Otherwise, I wish you the very best. Thank you so much, Mike. May you have a good night, everybody. And let's be meeting as we go for our trainings. As we meet tomorrow at 8 p.m., there's a training for the NEO people. Join us on board, and I'm sure we are going to have fun together. God bless you so much. Have a lovely night, and let's meet at the beaches of the world. Good night.
Asante sana, Judy.
Okay, good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. See you tomorrow.
Good night, Judy.
Good night, everyone. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Everybody.
Good night, Grace.
Good night, Yuna.
Grace, I missed you.
Wow.
Good night, I missed you.
Good night, everybody. Good night, team.
Good night. Good night, everyone. Good night, Mary. Delphine, good night. Good night, Naomi.
Bye. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Good night, Juliet. Good night. See you tomorrow.
Bye.